Hey guys, Colin here. Wanted to give you an update on what I'll be looking at this week. Let's go ahead and look through some currency pairs and see what kind of action is up to. So right now I'm looking at the Euro USD. Now this is a little bit more of a risky trade that I took. To be honest, what I'm really looking for based on this RSI is we realize that it set a lower high, lower low, then another lower high, which means this high was lower than the previous high, okay? And then it set another lower low. So this is indicating a downward trend, okay? This is what this indicates, a downward trend. But right now I'm looking for a small rebound. As you can see, I'm just trying to get a little trade of maybe, just under 200 pips right here in between these support and resistance areas. But ultimately what I'm really looking for on this, and based on the RSI here, I'm looking for it to come down to about this level, 1.12850, somewhere around there, because as you can see, this was major support, resistance over here. So there's a lot of support and resistance right here through this line. So I'm looking for it to actually come down here for a nice buy opportunity is what I'm looking for. But I'm taking just a little risky trade right here. I'll set my stop loss just below this. And the reason for that is because if you look at these past couple of candles, they have all stopped right here at about 1.13278. So that shows a strong support line because of what happened with those 3-4 hour candles. Okay, so I would set my stop loss just below that, because if it breaks through that, then that should mean that we'll come down even lower, like another, if it breaks below that, we should be coming down at least another 400 to 500 pips. Okay, so that's where I'm going to put my stop loss on that. So that's the Euro USD. Great Britain Pound USD. I'm not seeing anything that's making me that excited about trading this currency pair right now. So we'll look at something else. USD Swiss franc. Looks like it's hitting some resistance here where the 50 and the 200-day moving average actually meet. That should give it a bit of decent resistance. So I would expect a little push down. And from here, if I did take this trade, which I'm not at this point, to be honest, I'd probably look for it to get a little bit higher, maybe come up to this level, or even maybe all the way up, who knows, right? At this point it's still uncertain in terms of what this particular currency pair is going to do, so I'm not really paying that much attention to that one. Here now we have USD Japanese yen. So what I'm looking at with this, if you notice, I have a very tight stop loss. Once again, this is a bit of a risky trade. It's still on its way up. What I'd be looking for as an ultimate time for me to take my position would be for it to come like up here, right? So I'm probably going to put in a sell order somewhere up here, because when it hits up here at this level, as you can see here, it was resistance, support, and resistance, right? So this is a pretty big deal at this level right here. So I would set a sell order, because once it goes up there, I would expect it to take a nice bounce down, at least 200 to 300 pips. All right, so I'll set something for that. But right now, I'm expecting just a small drop, because it's bouncing off of the 100-day moving average. We can see that it's getting resistance at the 100-day, and this is the second time it attempted that. So I would expect to see it come down at least to this level here where it can meet the 50-day again. So I'm just going for a small trade in between there. Euro, Great Britain Pound. Right now, as you can see, it's fighting resistance along the 50-day. look like it's trying to continue to make its way down. As you can see right here, the RSI made a strong move down, set a lower low on the RSI, a lower high, and I would expect it to continue making its way down into oversold territory. And if it does, that would probably mean that it would come down here to touch the 200-day. But at this point right here, because it's right on the 50-day, I have a tight stop loss in case it decides to move higher again. But I'm looking for a small trade here of about 180 pips right in between there. So as you can see, because of where these RSIs are, when I'm looking for trades like this, these are more risky trades because I generally like to wait till we get into overbought or oversold territory and look for that big bounce, right? But these are some small ones that I'm pretty confident in, but at the same time, like I said, I'm minimizing my risk with those trades. Okay, let's see, USD Canadian. Again, with this, it looks like it's making a a move down, but when we look at this overall trend, sorry about that. When we look at this overall trend, we realize it's actually in a serious uptrend right now. It's a series of higher highs and higher lows all the way. I mean, look at all this continuously, right? So we'll have to see what happens here, if it actually breaks this trend or not and wants to actually make its way down. Not sure about that yet, so I'm not trading on that one. New Zealand dollar. Okay, here is pretty significant. It looks like it's on its way down into oversold territory. It pierced through the 50-day, which is a good sign. It pierced through the 100-day, which is another good sign, but it made a bounce up. So it may come, I'm looking for it to find some resistance at this level. And then let's see if it breaks down past here, right around here, 67449. I would probably put in a sell order right there because it would pass a strong area of support. And then the next area of support is not until it gets down here, 67126. So just between those, you're looking at, right, 300, 200, that's over 300 pips right there in that trading zone. Okay, so that's what I'd be looking at for the New Zealand dollar. So yeah, once it breaks through that, then there's nothing really stopping it from going down, at least here. I think normally it will come down to touch the 200-day. But like I said, as a very safe trade and still making 300 pips along the way for that. You see, it's not always just about, making 1,000, 2,000 pips. If you consistently make 200 to 300 pips every time per trade, that adds up significantly, guys. All right, Euro Japanese yen. Right now, yep, not really too interested in what's happening here at this point. So guys, I think that's it for now. When I see a major opportunity, I will certainly send out another email letting you guys know. Okay, take care.